Hi YouTubers. I know not many people watch me, so I'm hoping that people end up coming across this video just because it's how I feel. But yeah, I've been watching YouTube a lot, like certain people, and one of the people that came across my mind just one point while I was actually writing a short sermon for Fine Arts, which is a program that I'm gonna be in this year, and his name is Jeffrey, and his YouTube account is Beefball1989, so you should look him up because he speaks very powerful stuff. He's a Christian, and fine arts is for, with your church, and I'm a Christian, so I liked watching it, and I felt like he was real. Like, he had his standpoint, he took it, and he really believes in God, and he's all about him and everything. And it just, there was this one video that really got me thinking. It's called The Unforgivable Sin. And he talks about how he was with a group of friends and someone had cursed and they jumped on him for it. But really, yeah, amen, you should not, get to the whole bad part of cursing, because it says not to use bad words or whatever in the Bible, but also how it's wrong in a way how we get on someone for cursing, but we don't get on them for walking by someone who's homeless. We don't get on them for not helping someone who has bigger problems than the words that come out of your mouth. And then that's what got me thinking, really, because it made me think of, who I am and how I really act, what I do for people. And really what we should be doing is just loving everyone and showing God's love and then helping them anytime we could instead of worrying about their faults and their wrongs. So, like I said, it got me thinking, and maybe I've got it wrong. Being a Christian isn't about going through the Bible and taking every verse literally. It's not about the restrictions you gain. It's about seeing the big picture and seeing what was given to you thanks to the Lord. Did you ever stop to think about how you came to be? I mean, really, how you were made, the purpose you have in this world? Well, I'm willing to bet that if you glorified God, you thought of something that you really love to do, or something that could show characteristics of the Lord. Do you know why? It's because God put it in your mind, in your heart, that you would show His greatness through the things you do. That way, when people ask you why you're so amazing, why you love to give and never take anything in return, why you love to love people even if they don't show kindness and love in return, you can say it's because you love Jesus, because you love God. And I'm willing to bet that if you have yet to fully love God the way that He loves you, you thought of something that would benefit yourself. You thought of getting money, nice cars, a fancy home, anything that came to mind that would benefit you and not really help anyone else. And you never thought about it again. Like, you just were like, yep, this is what I want. That's all I care about. Nothing else. Why would I care about anything? And that's what I want to talk about. Why is it so easy for us as people to think of ourselves before we look in another's direction? Why are we able to walk past the homeless, not giving them a second glance? Why is it so easy to hurry up and judge people, not for what they do, but for what they can't? Instead, we should be helping others whenever we can. We should be accepting them for who they are. Proverbs 14:21 says, "He who despises his neighbor's sin, but blessed is he who is kind to the needy." Like I had brought up before, it's so much easier to pass the helpless than it is to actually help them. I prefer to look at the Bible loosely, so what I see when I read this is that maybe they're not talking about strictly despising your neighbor, but instead not caring enough to do something for them. It also says in Mark 12:28-31, one of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked him, "Of all the commandments, which is the most important?" "The most important one," answered Jesus, "is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all of your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." Jesus himself is telling us to love others. He's even saying it's one of the most important commandments. And how could we love others if we don't love God wholly and completely first? This was the other commandment that he had stated before. When we learn to love God, then we learn to love ourselves. And loving ourselves helps us to love others rather than judge them before we even know them. If we would all just stop turning the other way from those we don't know and those who seem below us, who knows? We could become like Peter, crazy for God, healing those around us. Jesus died on the cross, knowing and hoping we would continue to spread his love. It takes one act of kindness to change a life. It just depends on if you're willing to change yourself to live by his word or not first. And honestly, if you can't change yourself, maybe you need to look at the picture again. Read more of the Bible. Get to know God more, because honestly, it's not that hard. And if you can think of yourself only all the time, imagine how you're going to really feel when it comes later in life and you're the one all alone, not having any friends, basically like Scrooge. There's no one there for you, and it's because you didn't learn to love others. And I'm not saying you have to love God, because I mean it takes a while to like live up to it and come to it, but I'm just saying that if you at least get your life straight, then maybe you could see the better things. Because there is a God, and he has brought us everything. It's just, like I said, whether or not you want to change yourself to live by his word or not. Alright, thanks guys.